G'day everyone, AzureBlaze, and welcome to another video discussing my overview stuff, an overview and impressions of a title update in Reforj, which I usually do. With all the title updates I've done, 2 at the moment, now this is the 3rd. Yeah, let's jump straight into it because there's a lot in this update. A lot has happened, and I apologize if this is a little bit later after the update, a couple of days, hopefully. I mean, I needed time to get to know the update and time to get all the footage and do everything like that because there's a lot in this update. The first thing to discuss is there's new world generation. Different biomes can now blend in the same landmass, and there's an increased chance of ocean biome generating, which is interesting. There's new tree designs as well. I'll have all this up in B-roll because it's not right here in front of me. Caves now feature flatter floors and walls. Magnetite ore is now found higher over elevations and generates in larger ore veins. And there's increased plant spawning density. I don't have footage for all of that, however, some of it will be there. Anyway, there's a new structure. And again, this is not it. However, in the footage there will be stuff there. Yeah, no, it's a new structure. It's called the Gatekeeper structure. I believe it's the first structure in the game, and it's pretty neat. There's blocks that you can't like get that are part of it, like that you can't get rid, like they're unobtainable. That's the word I was thinking. There's Fordium, Strengthened Fordium, and Vault Stone, which is interesting. You can like break the Vault Stone, however, you have to use like explosives to do it. Oh, not Vault Stone, sorry, the Fordium you can break. However, you have to use explosives to do it. Therefore, yeah. Or is it the other way around? One of the two. Anyway, yeah. And then there's like a chest full of goodies at the bottom. Yeah, pretty neat. I'm glad. I don't know whether it would spawn on my world, considering my world was pre that. However, it might in places I have unexplored. Farming. Finally, a big one for me that I've been waiting for is farming. Plants can now be harvested, which is neat. You can literally press the X button and it will harvest the plants instead of having to break the plants, which is good. Yeah, I can then harvest this as well, and you get like seeds, and you can plant the seeds back down again. Perfect, fantastic. Very happy with that. Does it do the same for this? Oh yeah, it pops out seeds. There you go. Perfect. I haven't actually really thought of that yet. Yeah, no, you can now harvest them. There's a whole bunch of seeds. We got prairie seed, amber seed, auroberry seed, crown seed, which I believe is a new plant, the crown, prickle bloom seed, silk thistle seeds, button mushroom spores, soul shroom spores, jungle shroom spores, and then lumen shroom spores and moon shroom spores. Yeah, a whole bunch of new things. Lots of new little plants and things like that. Yeah, perfect. They can be planted like this, and you can have different ones for different things, obviously. Here's the crown one here. There you go, the crown plant. Something else to show, there's this new guide feature, which is very handy. From it, you can get crown peppers, which are a new food / cooking material and stuff. Yeah, perfect. Then circuit, which is probably one of the big things from this update. Yeah, circuits. It's... I like that you can flip it. Yeah, it's essentially, I mean, like circuitry. Like we're comparing it to Minecraft's redstone, I guess. They add a whole bunch of different things. Here we've got a powered door. Can only be used using one of these switches here. There we go. We have, okay, we have an inverter that inverts the signal. Logic blocks for end and ore. They're both down here. A little bit confusing. There's an emitter that emits a signal beam, which is neat, sort of wireless already. A receiver that receives the signals, neat as well. We have a repeater that extends the signal, and a reflector. Very reflective, so diverse circuit signals when sculpted into a sloped shape. In here we have an ore battery that stores ore in a little battery, and silicon, which is how you make a lot of these things on the new fabricator, which is a new thing, and you can make a whole bunch of things, including some stuff I'm going to talk about in a bit. Oh yeah, usually there's a lot of silicon involved, iron, yeah, all that sort of stuff. Fun. I do like this sort of thing. Then we've got mag shell transportation, This one is on magstone, and this one is on refined magstone, which are two things. These are mag shells. They're skimmer shells that have been coated in magnetite, which is something you can get from all the mountains and stuff like that. And I'm yet to be 100% sure how you actually do this. The best I've found at the moment is you can use like the blaster mode with like an item essentially, and it will let you push it. And yeah, with the mag stone, you can't really. It sort of simply floats over it, and that's about it, type thing. However, with the the main refined magnetite, that's the one. You can do it, and it will bounce and move around accordingly, which is really neat. You can make a whole transportation systems and stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to make it. If there's like another specific way to make it work, I'm not sure. Other than like using the blaster, and you can't use the blaster as far as I'm aware. Oh, you can use it without stuff for this one. Yeah, there you go. Unless you have to use it against a block, maybe that might be what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, neat. I'm definitely going to be using that to build between my my bases in my main world. As per said before, there's the guide, the new guide, which is very handy. It shows you literally everything, what they do, and all that sort of thing. Kind of interesting. It doesn't show you the crafting recipe. Yeah, I mean that'd be good to have as well, like down the bottom or something, like have like the crafting recipes. You can do related entries as well, which you can go straight to it as well, which is perfect. Yeah, and then there's lore as well, which is good. There's the gateways, which, I mean, they haven't really added gateways yet, but they've got the lore for it. Sculpting tools, wingsuit flying, and other things as well, which is always handy. It's good. I'm very happy with it. And then there's emotes as well, which can be accessed in this menu as well. And you can do emotes, which, I mean, I guess for communication is not such a bad thing. Yeah, this is meant to be a thumbs up, I guess. Where is it? There it is. There we go. And like the character whistles every time as well. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, there's now text up the top as well that says what you're on, and things have been moved around, which we'll get to in a minute. Anyway, new stations. We have the coloring station, which allows you to, well, color a whole bunch of different things. Crushing an item will destroy it and fill the station's color levels. Yeah, you can crush some items, and then you can make a whole bunch of versions of color blocks and stuff, which I think is fantastic, to be honest. There's an oven, which we'll talk about the oven a little bit more later. I don't know why I used ice here. There's the fabricator, as I talked about before, and then there's the forge. And some things have been pushed to move from the kiln to the forge. Like you got the ingots and stuff are in here now, as well as the vertium fiber. Basically, like all the heavy-duty metal stuff has been moved from the kiln to the forge. To be honest, I don't know what much else is in the kiln anymore. Yeah, this is how you make a lot of this stuff though in the new forge, and it uses like aura batteries to do it, which I think is nifty. Then we have give me a second. Yeah, that's all the new stations, and then we have new colors for all the crates and the large crates. They're all colors now, which is always fun. There's a small aura container now as well, always fancy. Then we've got this is the loomstone. Oh yeah, that's because we have the lumen pods, that allows you to make the loomstone. It's found in the bottom of the ocean, which I can show later. Yeah, you can make using 4 to make the lumen stone and stuff, and then you can color the lumen stone using that color one and everything like that. Fun. Okay. Then we have over here the new steel block, which you use steel ingots for. And they're new as well, obviously. And then you have to use the forge to make it. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you gotta use the forge up here to make it. However, I need aura batteries to do it. Yeah, good. New stuff for different things. Always a fan. Anyway, yeah. Now we got cooking as well, which is always fun. yeah, you can make all these new recipes using an oven now, or old recipes. You can make bread as well. There we go. However, yeah, no, this is where the new recipes are. You can make oreberry pie using the oreberries. You can make kebabs, mushroom kebabs, and crown kebabs, which, I mean, the kebab and the mushroom kebab use kiwi meat, where the crown kebabs use the crown peppers, which, I mean, I'll probably make a whole bunch of those, I guess, at some point in my main world. Yeah. And we go, here's all the new blocks in this update. We have blossom leaves, mossy relic brick, which is found in the gatekeeper structure. We have refined magstone, steel, weathered relic brick, and weathered relic stone. Gosh. Yeah, magstone, yeah. It's all there, all new blocks. Fancy, fancy, fancy. Okay, then we've got new sculpting tools, as people probably saw earlier. We have a small slope, a large slope in the main sculpting tools section, which gets you these. Quite good for like actually like fixing up some angles that I've already found already useful for that. And then in blaster mode, they've added things to here instead for blaster mode. I mean, I guess it works in this area. Yeah, the convex, the concave have both been put in here, the blocks. And then now you have posts and hollows. You can hollow out a block, which is fun. And then posts, which, I mean, I've been asking for posts for ages. However, I do have a bit of a problem with posts. And it's the fact that you can't put them in, like, corners of the squares. They only sit in the middle, which means for something like this, I've done this instead of having, like, a corner one there. That would be nice to see in the future. However, yeah, posts. A new massive thing is you can now rest. You can rest until sunset to get it to go for nighttime, and then you can rest until sunrise for daytime stuff. Amazing. And no more nights on my world, my main world. No more having to deal with the nighttime stuff, which is good because there's a whole bunch of new enemies, which is kind of terrifying, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, there's new enemies. We saw one go past right then. Here's another one. Here's the Mariner. Hello, Mariner. Yeah, they attack you. They're not very nice fellas. Tunnelers have now been renamed simply Scouts. The Tunneler Scouts are now Scouts because all of these are part of the Tunneler family. This is the Mariner. Large predator of the Tunneler family, especially adapted for life in the sea. Yeah, they're dangerous, basically. Hello, Skimmer. Yeah, you got the Mariners. You've got the Scouts now called that. They've changed a little bit as well. They what's it called? They only spawn in one now, not groups of 3, and they can't take the aura anymore. They can hit it out of you, however they can't take it. This is the Lumen Coral, which is where you get the what's it called? What I was talking about before. The pods, whatever they're called. I know what I'm talking about. The these ones, the Lumen pods. That's it. You get them from the Lumen Coral, which is under the sea. Yeah, you have the Mariner, and then you have the Scavenger, which is a new air-based mob. It's summoned by scouts and attacks the players, and they're the ones who steal the aura now, which is kind of terrifying. However, with the new skipping night thing, it feels a little bit better, I guess, which is nice. There's variants of the Kiwi, the Night Bloom, and the Boom Shroom. I don't have any footage of the Boom Shroom yet. However, the Kiwi and the Night Blooms, there's variants depending on the biome, which is always nice to see. And then there's fish. There's now fish that swim around in the water. They don't do anything. They're a cosmetic mob only. However, they're nice. It's nice. It gives the underwater sections more life, especially with these guys running around as well, the Mariners. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Yeah, and then what else have we got? I've done all that. We got some improvements and changes to talk about. The online games now support up to 8 players, which is good. Increased from 4, always good. The Bracer Blast aiming accuracy, responsive, and damage spread have been improved. Added normal and peaceful difficulty options, which is quite good as well. Obviously not in creative mode. There we go. normal and peaceful. It doesn't work the same way as peaceful does in, say, Minecraft. The mobs will be there, I believe, in peaceful. However, they will simply not attack you unless provoked, which, perfect. That's great. Okay, and then remove the in-game ability to switch to creative while in a survival-only game, which, I guess. Oh, hello, Mariners. If I switch it to peaceful now, I'm going to double-check that this is actually what it's like. Does it actually get rid of them? No. They simply become peaceful. And then if I provoke them, then they start... Oh, they're tunneling. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, remove the in-game ability to switch to creative while in survival-only game, which stops people from switching to it. You can change it in the low game menu though. You can now eat food while stationary in water, which is good. That was something I had a bit of an issue with before. New worlds now start at 6 AM. That seems to be the default morning time. Elements destroyed by explosions now have a chance to drop as a collectible item in survival worlds, sort of like if you explode something, it might drop some blocks, which is good. Mining ore elements now play a unique sound effect, which is interesting. Added more variations to the background music and ambience, which has been nice to listen to while I've been building this. Projectile collision has been improved. Collectibles improved how collectibles are dropped. Skip time and aura campfires, as we talked about, which can only be done in offline in single player, which is interesting. And you will now suffocate if you're trapped in the world. That's the updated functions and features. Now we got the progression's been rebalanced as well, which right after I get my 5th level 5, like my level 5 bracer in the main world, however you know. Yeah, you can access later features more quickly. There's reduced requirements for upgrading the bracer levels. Previous bracer level 4 and 5 elements can now be mined at level 3. The blaster mode is now unlocked by default, which, I mean, yeah, I guess, makes sense. The row mining and column mining tools are now unlocked at bracer level 3, and mining speeds have been made faster across all bracer levels, which is fantastic, to be honest. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, simply really fast, especially on bracer level 5. Very good. There we go. Okay, yeah, and then when it comes to mobs, as I sort of said, the scouts, the tunneler scouts, now being renamed the scouts, which I'm gonna have to get used to because I kept calling them tunnelers only. Yeah, they no longer steal the aura. They now summon scavengers, spawn alone instead of packs of 3. They can spawn in caves at any time of the day. Yeah, and now boom shrooms can now spawn in caves below the ocean, tundra, taiga, desert, mountain, and woodland biomes, which is always fun. For the UI, there's improved minimap markers, which have been added for an active aura fire and stuff as well, which is always good. Yeah, they've added messages for when a player is taken out. Let's see. I actually haven't seen this. I don't know if it'll let's have a look. Well, there you go. I did indeed. Yeah, there you go. They've added messages. I'm assuming it shows it for the other players as well when you're playing a multiplayer. Some elements have had their stack sizes and items stack sizes changed, adjusted them. I'm not 100% which ones, however, some of them have. Added an option for a host to automatically time out idle players, which is neat. When an online game host ends a session, there is now a delay before the game session closes for all other players. I'm assuming to let them out and all that sort of thing, like let them finish what they're doing. Quit moving an item from a crate is, when a crate is full, will now move the item between the player's inventory and hotbar, which is a good, nice thing. Improved visuals and animations for various menus. Yep. Renamed world settings to game rules, which is an interesting one I noticed straight away. Renamed gameplay to user interface in settings. Yep. Okay, the screen shake and head bobbing settings are now in controls, which is always fun. I might actually turn screen shake off at one point because it does bother me a little bit. And now you can change the ability to lose items when you're taken out and all that sort of thing, which is good. And it affects all the players in the online game, which is fun. Updated items. Aura torches can now be placed against walls, which is very fun. I do like this a lot. I can go over here and I think this is the right way around. I can place it against a wall. Perfect. Very happy with that, personally. If you haven't already aura torch placed on the wall in existing worlds, however, you may have to go back and change them. Ore berries now give 5 health and 5 aura. Spignite, that is fired from the blaster. Where's Spignite? There it is. I don't know why I did that. It now explodes on contact with water, which is very fun. And boom. Yeah, explodes on contact with water. There we go. Amazing. Aura containing capacity adjusted from 500 to 250. Any aura the players have stored in aura containers above the new limit will not be lost, which is nice. Aura campfire is now activated by aura torches and slowly regenerate player health, which is something I didn't know until I read that a second ago. I didn't realize I didn't notice that. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, well, there you go. And they apparently slowly replenish player health, which is very handy. Yeah. The improved wingsuit has now been renamed to the advanced wingsuit as well, which is, yeah, there it is. Easy. Recipes have been updated. Moved advanced wingsuit to the fabricator, which is in here. The moved resin and concrete to the kiln. There you go, that's where they are now. And moved noble glass and aura from Aurium to the forge, which we covered before. Updated plants. Some plants have now harvestable or drop seeds when destroyed, which we saw before. Removed the small versions of button mushrooms and garnet flower. Any that were placed in the world will be replaced with crown plant and jungle shroom respectively, which interesting. I mean, I kind of like the small version of the button mushroom. However, okay, I guess. They renamed the storage crates to simply crates, which, I mean, yeah, that simply makes it smaller. Renamed the iron storage crate to large crate because they're bigger. Renamed the aura storage container to aura container because, yeah. Updated textures for various elements and double the drop rate of sap, apparently. Yeah, and another thing that I noticed that I haven't actually seen on the list here anyway is the aura design up the top right as well in general, and aura in general itself has been changed. It looks different now. I have no opinion on it. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of bug fixes. Like, I can go through them. They made further improvements to online stability, which is good. Trees now only spawn in appropriate biomes, which is good. Fixed an issue where mobs would sometimes appear red in online games that I didn't realize was an issue. The amount of vertical force applied to mobs from explosions has been reduced. Increased the speed at which mobs fall, that way they no longer float when launched into the air. Fixed various animations with players and mobs, which is good. Resolved a number of VFX and SFX issues, including some related to world loop boundary. The world loop boundary? Okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, actually, I suppose it's when you loop over the world. Yeah, that makes sense. Sculpting VFX now displayed correctly for all players in online games. Reduced the chance of visual artifacts when building tall structures. The combined stacks tooltip should no longer display for incompatible elements. The quantity of aura in aura containers should no longer flicker when depositing aura. The aura container should no longer render partially transparent in UI, which I didn't even realize it was. Fixed visual issues with the crosshair animation that plays during an invalid action. I didn't realize there was an issue there either. Yeah, okay. Players can no longer restart the customization spin animation partway through. The basic mining tutorial will no longer progress if broken element does not drop something placeable, which is interesting. The place animation now stops when appropriate. Okay. Third person camera rotation should no longer persist between worlds. Copied worlds now display screen grabs correctly. Okay, like the ones on the thumbnails, I'm assuming. Skimmer shells can now be picked. Could they not before? Huh. Anyway, okay. Aura campfire should now always respawn the player in an unobstructed location. I mean, I've personally never had that happen before, however, that sounds funny. Reduce the distance that the player is launched backwards when firing the blaster on ice or treading water. Water should now display correctly when creating tall, wide waterfalls. I did see there was a waterfall over here somewhere. Oh, I think it may have been in the world that I created for the other stuff. Transparent objects and VFX can now be seen in water. Tall plants will no longer vanish when looking up at them. Jumping on certain sculpted elements such as cylinders will no longer cause the first person camera to jitter. Boom streams can no longer spawn in water, and using a canister on a submerged boom stream will now cause them to emerge. Whew. Yeah, as I said, this was a huge update. A really big update, a really fun update. It simply took me a little bit to get my head around a lot of the things. And I mean, I haven't got my head around the circuits and stuff yet. That's going to be a whole lesson. Therefore, yeah, it's going to be a long... I mean, I've got a lot to do now in my main world. I want to build like a maglev system to get from the different different bases and things like that. Possibly an underground maglev, because they do look kind of funny sitting up above ground, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I'll work it out though. I'm excited. I'm very excited. A whole bunch of new things once I finish my project that I'm doing in my main world to do. Therefore, yeah, other than that though, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'm getting ready to go do some more recording after this. Therefore, yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll shove it back in the next one. Cheers, everyone.